Afternoon and welcome back, I suppose I should say, to Gaming Under the Influence. I'm Mike, here with Alex once again to talk to you guys about video games.
Here in the flesh.
It's been a couple of weeks and we're happy to be back.
It has. I think it's been a week, because I think we were here on Tuesday, but God, it sure feels like a long time. I've been fucking away, and, anyway, the band's back together.
Life's been going.
Life is
bit haywire there for a bit. That's all right. That's the way she goes sometimes.
The way she goes.
As Saint Ray of Sunnyvale would say.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's talk a bit about video games. And, maybe we should start today. It's impossible not to start with the fact that finally somebody other than us is talking shit about Game Pass in the news.
Right? For a little while, it felt like we were kind of droning on about that. If you look at our past videos, there was like a small section where we probably talked about it every couple of weeks. we just couldn't help it.
I'm sure you remember that meme passing around for a while that all the journalists would tweet that fucking what was essentially marketing for Xbox about Game Pass, but in the sense that
so great.
They wanted to, affirm the criticism people levy at them that they're prostitutes of corporate capital. I don't really know what the meme is supposed to indicate.
I don't know.
But that passed around for a bit. So, at that time, just to summarize our criticism of this is that, whatever its convenience factor may be, and indeed, it's convenient and especially fucking justifiable as a means to distribute old content, to make games accessible that otherwise you would have to go dig in your collection for to play on your current hardware, right? That's why,
there's a ton of pros for sure.
Yeah, it's not in and itself a bad thing. We're not Luddites, I guess you could say. You don't object to technology in and of itself. Right. Our criticism is that as a distribution model for AAA games, which we already have people complaining that current fucking distribution model and pricing is not sustainable. It simply would mean that if this becomes the predominant means for distributing video games for people to consume them, we just won't see the kind of games made anymore that we like to see.
Basically,
just won't be that case,
they won't be profitable enough. They won't make enough money. They won't justify being made. They won't be made anymore.
That's right.
It's just fucking that simple. Yeah.
On top of that, though, I don't think it's just a matter of expensive things not recouping the investment that they would require. I think it's also the mode of consumption associated with subscription services, right? Like it's meant to fucking be a dalliance, something you flirt with for a brief period, like you would watch a series on Netflix and you move on from.
Right.
It's not supposed to fucking be the kind of thing you engage with at a sustained or a prolonged level as you would with survival games, which we're going to talk about after. Like Valheim, I've been playing for 8 months. It's not even going to be on this fucking thing for that long, right? Even if it was $20, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't fucking sustain that sort of engagement, right? Other fucking things like Death Stranding or the Souls games, probably wouldn't meet with much success here either, because people are looking to fucking add something to their harem of games, to dabble with it. One of their many wives, so to speak, right? It's not something that you want to fucking have a committed relationship to. No. It's not sustainable for traditional autotelic games like we would have defined them, self-justifying, gestures of world building that probably fucking are not really well suited to casual engagement, right? Well, the likes of which subscription services encourage,
Exactly. And I mean, we're pretty much seeing that follow through. We said it before that well, this is going to impact Microsoft and the games are going to be shit. And I don't think anyone can argue against that.
That's right.
That they are pretty much shit.
I think the point, obviously, like the price point is like low-hanging fruit. It's going to be fucking difficult for a multi-million-dollar game to make back its fucking investment off of like piecemeal subscription profits.
Yeah.
But I think at a fucking deeper level, the mode of engagement suggested by subscription services tends towards fucking superficial and casual, right?
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing you would like when you're browsing fucking games made 15 years ago to make comments on or dabble in,
right,
evening,
just
but
play
it's
a
not
little bit
the way
here and there.
Yeah, something that's coming out initially, that's demanding your attention, excuse me.
No, at the end of the day, with like the newest, fucking, whether it be AAA, AA, whatever it is, right? The latest games that come out should be sold like a fucking
probably initial engagement. Should be
profited off of like a
they
novel.
Should be sold
like
that way.
Fucking,
I definitely agree. Yeah.
When music was viable, CDs or records or whatever, video games
But they also shouldn't be consumed amidst other things in this harem of fucking possible offerings, right?
Yeah.
That's the other. It's objectionable both at an economic and fucking. At an economic standpoint, and I guess, like, what's the word to use to describe elsewise? Like, I don't want to fucking say, this word epistemological to describe how people know things, but to me, like, it's a problem at that level, right? It's a problem with if the concept is something that you receive from the artistic fucking creation, it's a problem with the mode of reception of that concept. It kind of gets in the way of the ideal fucking way you would engage with something somebody makes, in my opinion, right?
Right.
And also, of course, like, John Garvin, who made Days Gone, said, bro, if you want to fucking support a game, people come up to me and say, like, oh yeah, I loved your game, I got it on this fucking sale, I got it on this service. It's like, man, well, you should have fucking paid for it, because now I'm not making another one, right? Like, you know what I mean?
I like your game so much. It's too bad I bought it for 20
Too bad it
bucks.
fucking failed, and now they're not making anymore, you fucking idiot, like.
That game, unfortunately, I think came out just at the wrong time.
Oh, it did.
Right
for sure.
before, like, the sort of big boomy. Actually, it contributed to some of that comeback of single player, like,
it did.
Fucking.
And also, like, that was when the media fucking was at its abject worst, and when people were like, it's
just bad timing for that game.
And that was so unfortunate. It was definitely, of all the open world games I played, bro, and I played almost every single one that came out in the past 20 years.
Then again, it came out on the PC again after. So that
should get a second life,
that's like good for Sony, not so much for the devs. And
no, they're fucked. But the guy left.
He left.
Don Garvin. So that's my take on fucking streaming. We've been making this case since Xbox Game Pass was a fucking...
As long as this podcast has existed. Yeah. Which is probably roughly around the time, maybe a little bit after Game Pass came out or before. I don't know.
It was around 2019.
Probably around the same time when Microsoft started tooting this, fucking mega horn.
We're going to bring gaming to everyone.
And the fucking thing is, I was saying before that, what was it? They with Game Pass and all their shit and Microsoft, whatever, they have like a total of like 4% of market share of video games. Like, this is a company that now owns
of everything is distributed that
almost
way.
Everybody, like Bethesda, the big studios, that was the whole ZeniMax, like Activision, they own fucking most of fucking gaming in the world, probably in North America, like. And you're telling me all they managed to accumulate from that is 4% of market share?
4% market share through their streaming.
Streaming, yeah.
That's how many. That's what percent of video games consumed are consumed through.
It seems low to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is big. But like, fuck, 4%.
Seems about right to me. Actually, probably most people don't give a shit about this stuff, bro.
But yeah, I guess.
Who would even know that? How do you gift it to somebody? You know what I mean? It just doesn't have the fucking trappings of a commodity in fucking late stage capitalism. On the one hand, it's hard to market and sell. And on the other hand, all of the shit I just said about it being bad for the actual work, right? Like, I don't see really who it's for. I don't see why anybody would like it. It's not fucking, a movie you watch once, twice in 10 years for an hour, right? Like, it's intrinsically suitable to that sort of fucking mode of consumption.
Oh, yeah, right? For sure. There's a reason Netflix and video streaming services have taken off in the recent years, right?
For sure. And we make the case for physical ownership, but that's a separate thing altogether. That streaming just introduces a fucking unnecessary impediment between you and fucking the thing you're trying to engage with, right? Doesn't facilitate it like we could make the case for fucking, for something like Netflix and movies. But now fucking, anyways, we've been saying this for years. That's the point I'm trying to make. And now other people are saying this.
Now, it seems that the mainstream media,
fucking dudes, we were
for whatever reason, is going after Microsoft a little bit there.
It's quite funny.
Yeah,
these are the ones that I was talking about here. We have. Well, first, I saw this in Kotaku. After years of hype, the Xbox Game Pass burnout is here. They're talking about how all of these people are unsubscribing because, according to their fucking weird bourgeois logic, like, for this to be worth their time, it would have to pump out one AAA release every 4 months to justify the price, right? And it hasn't been doing that. It goes without saying, so it's not going to happen. And then we had this other thing here. Former Xbox exec says he's scared of Game Pass's potential impact because he thinks it'll do to the gaming industry what Spotify did to the music industry or Netflix to movies, which is, financially compromise the potential of, like, making an independent work, let's say, that you can still profit off of outside of those structures. Right?
Yeah, it's very difficult unless you're an established band or something, right? Like, even a lot of bands that we know and listen to are on services like Bandcamp and stuff where they rely on fans to sort of fucking fund fucking their next shit or whatever, buy this. It's
weird, what though, man, but I would make the case that exactly like with movies, like, streaming's intrinsically suitable to the fucking superficial short-term like, mode of consumption that modern music demands of you, right? So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why it all works, right?
And there are games that are suitable to that too. Of course, we know this, like Fortnite and shit. That's why it's so objectionable. Every game will become this if we admit that this is the way things should be, right? And other people see this too. Remember Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of fucking whatever the shit there, Take-Two? All kinds of people from greasy to good have lined up to say, well, bro, this is obviously not good for games, right? Whether financially or artistically, it's not something good. And yeah, now it's really interesting to see the turkeys come home to roost, Kotaku and fucking PC Gamer are writing articles about how Game Pass sucks ass. We're just like
It's
a
the
few months
flavor
ago.
of the
they'd be
week
like,
now.
yeah. Everybody's stuck. Journalism's
fucking
disgusting. It's
saying it forever.
so objectionable. They're just literally prostitutes, you know?
Yeah.
Just the worst thing in the world. But anyways, you know, it's great to see this. I'm happy. Fucking death to Game Pass, buddy.
Right?
Yes. Death to Game Pass.
At least in
Should
the
dress it
fucking
up.
in the media, there's
Yeah.
some fire underneath them
Yeah.
because the last couple years has been this weird like fucking nirvana of Game Pass, and then like weird tweets from YouTubers and personality people.
personalities.
Yeah, they're like Game Pass
Fuck,
so
those people are
great. Oh my
idiots.
god, it's such a good deal. Like I'm just like, okay, we get it. Like yeah, it's, no one's denying it, but like. What the fuck? Xbox literally gave away their like whole fucking first party offering of anything. Like I'll never forget when they canceled their new IP being made by Black Tusk Studios that became the Coalition and then became a Gears of War factory. Like what the hell? That was the end, right? That was
Gears
it.
of War factory.
That
That's
was
exactly right, man.
when the writing was on the wall. I was like, they don't care about making new IPs, making new games, making like
No shit, they don't. No shit, buddy.
fucking.
No shit.
And here I am playing Final Fantasy IX again for whatever reason. It's like reading like a good novel. You could just pick it up and get into it. And
I'm very happy you said
know
that.
what I
That
mean?
makes
Like
good
it's
sense.
fucking.
That's exactly right. That's
It's incredible, man.
really the thing is that
What the
again
fuck?
demonstrates, yeah. But also though, how are you playing it, right? Like probably not in its original format. This goes to
I'm
show like this.
playing it on my Steam Deck on the
Sure.
PC. Yeah.
I think like there's a place for that kind of consumption. Like this is something that I wouldn't mind downloading off a PlayStation Now to fucking
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
to mess around with. Yeah.
However it works, but
Yeah. So, I guess though, this all being said, we can move on to something that probably you won't find much of on fucking streaming services. Oh, before we move on, one more thing.
Yes,
An
yes.
interesting game that I know debuted on Game Pass called The Ascent.
Oh,
A
yes.
sci-fi game, like a top-down
That was a
isometric shooter.
Microsoft exclusive, wasn't it?
I think it was at a time, but now it's
PC
coming to
it.
PlayStation.
Now it's coming to
So,
PlayStation.
buddy,
Okay,
I
cool.
don't think that these things do well on these services. Like, who's playing that on Game Pass? Right?
Yeah, that seems more. I don't know. Would it be like? I mean, almost anything can be successful on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just fucking out there. As long as you have the service, you can access it, right? I don't know,
for sure.
but maybe they just had timed exclusive deals.
Probably.
So they got it, the greasy way. Just have it for a short time. I heard like Final Fantasy VII remakes coming to the Xbox at some point now.
Well, anyways, maybe now we can move on to the next point, which is that, it's not really connected to the first one about Microsoft, other than in that you probably don't find many of these games on subscription services, or at least not popular on there. But, man, I really have been enjoying survival games lately. Like, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, too, but
Yeah.
now it's even intensified. I'm playing many of them at once.
Yeah,
you know?
I thought it would end with Valheim, but
Yeah.
it's taken on new form,
Yeah.
and you got into Conan, and now this V Rising.
Yeah, V
thing.
Rising, which came out the other day.
Yeah.
I'm playing them all simultaneously, like actually juggling them in a way that usually I don't manage to do with those games, you know?
Yeah.
Got pretty decent fucking progress in all of them, actually.
All
So
three,
that's
all
nice.
three featuring CVR servers.
Yes, and now we're running
Can
servers
join.
as well at the bar. It was pretty cool. We figured out how to set up the servers on our computer, do the port forwarding, and all this fucking this
Yeah.
shit. Now we can set up servers and run them. It's tight, buddy. I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, same. I actually jumped into V Rising pretty recently this weekend, actually, and so far I've been enjoying it more so than I guess Valheim and Conan. I actually had meant to play, but the timing didn't work out. So I jumped into V Rising because I guess the Diablo style, like isometric kind of thing with the combat there, attracted me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think this is one that I might actually be able to like break into, like you were saying.
Yeah, I think so.
Over Valheim or Conan.
In that the fucking base building can, if you want it to, be more of a simple affair. You know?
Yeah,
a
sort of
snap
just,
together kind of business. Yeah.
As you follow the objectives to build the
Exactly, yeah.
required shit to progress, right? Like it's
That's
my
exactly
style.
right.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I have enjoyed playing these at the same time because you can compare some of the features that you find in all of them.
Yeah, you're
And,
becoming
like,
the expert there.
The base building in all of them is, of course, the most divergent feature. And I'd say,
Right.
like, in my opinion, Valheim has the best and the most intricate base building because it's the only one that's not based on, like, some kind of, like, geometrical pre-configurations of the space. You know, when
Yeah,
you're gonna
there's
play
no
this
grid,
one.
right?
Exactly. When you play this one or Conan, you're building on a grid in some capacity.
Oh, also the terrain. Does Conan
Neither.
and V Right neither
Neither.
has terrain manipulation?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, because I know
That's right.
Valheim has that.
That's
That's
right.
like a
Valheim
total
does.
like
It is a huge thing, yeah.
like just a fucking.
That the whole world is manipulable. Yeah.
You could fucking even like in No Man's Sky, you could do like tunnels
Yeah,
and shit
that's
like
right,
that.
you can.
That's cool. Forgot about
That's
No
right.
Man's Sky. I feel like that one just got
that one
dropped
has some
right
crazy
off
stuff
the
too.
planet, but
I think though the base building, it didn't really jump out to me as much as robust.
yeah, there's a lot more in that
purposeful, yeah.
game than the.
More cobbled together. Like it's
Yeah.
not as a straightforward survival
Yeah.
loop. So I don't know if it really. I played 30 hours of it this year. Actually, I did enjoy it, but it's not like these ones, you know. And these are all very good. And I like V Rising and Conan in spite of the lack of fucking. Well, firstly, why Valheim I'm saying has the best base building is because there's no. Like you
No
said,
grid,
grid
yeah.
and everything just you can use clipping to put it together, which means that wherever the models that you're placing can fucking touch is where you can leave pieces,
Right.
And they'll stay to each other as long as they have integrity within the laws of the world.
Can you
right?
like shittily cobble something together that like you could walk into and it would collapse, or not quite that? Like
you
physics,
can cobble stuff together that will fall apart fairly quickly if it doesn't have
but
proper
it needs
support.
to be like smash, right?
No, it will fall apart. Like it allows you to place things, and you'll see when you're placing it like it's red or yellow, and then you place it, and like 5 seconds later it'll fall.
Okay, so there's some quality like physics going on. And
Valheim
shit. That's
has
cool.
the
yeah.
most. Conan doesn't have that. You can place
Right.
things just
And
that
it's just
wonky,
there, yeah.
Yeah, but Valheim is, it's both got the physics part, and also you can just make any shape. You can see online players have made like spirals. You can fill
that's
space
cool.
however you like. If the game's creation, is kind of like filling in 3D graph paper, like Conan and V Rising, you can do some pretty cool stuff, but it's all fairly restricted. It's like
Right.
it's like a poem that's written according to a certain rhyming pattern. You know what I mean? Whereas fucking Valheim, you can snap stuff a little bit, but by and large, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. You can terraform. You can fucking literally make the world anything,
Yeah,
Which makes it
Valheim.
that much more satisfying to go back to your player's view and just fucking walk around inside of what you did, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's cool for sure.
Yeah, so that's the main divergent thing, but they all have fucking cool features. The combat is different in all of them, which is sick.
Yeah.
It's great, man. I fucking love these kind of games. And one thing I was thinking about a lot lately is we've talked so much in the past about souslikes as fucking specially fucking acute like uses of video game media to convey an idea, because they're knowledgeable about what makes a game distinct, right? Like they convey stuff about the world by having you interact with it, But like Souls-like games, I'm sure everybody would agree, are fairly restricted in the kind of thing their core loop depicts, which is combat. We
Yeah,
talked about this
pretty
a couple
much.
of weeks ago, right? Like, why is combat in all games, blah, 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 and Souls-likes, it's not really a complaint. This is what they are and what they do. And, we were just observing, like, this probably makes them more suitable to depicting, like, fucking epic stories and cosmic dramas, like, akin to the Bible or the Odyssey, the likes of which you see in Dark Souls.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Or even
yeah.
in a JRPG, stuff about gods and fucking history, right?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff probably, combat between two people and monster bosses is, like, suitable to the fucking
everything
mythopoesis.
gels well
yeah,
there.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's you don't want to have a guy fucking chopping a tree down. It doesn't, it's not suitable to that concept. Whereas, this game, your interaction with the world is multivalent. It takes place according to many fucking modes, right? Like you're both producing and destroying things, you're harvesting things of different kinds, going to different places. Like you just engage with the world in very many different ways. Whereas in the Souls games or in Souls-like games, it's just one way, right? Combat.
Pretty much,
essentially.
yeah.
Or in Metroidvania, you have one or two, combat and exploration, right? Like these games are instead about fucking engaging with the world according to its inner logic, like the laws of the fucking fiction, right? Like you chop wood because your guy needs wood to build his house, not because the guy who made the game is like, oh, well, like in Mario, like a mushroom makes you big. Fuck it, right? Like,
Yeah, no.
it's not like this arbitrary connection of events. It's rather that it's according to the inner logic of the game. So if fucking you want to depict a world, this is even less fucking character or person focused, I guess I would say, than the Souls games, which like maybe they're not about an individual personality, but they're still about human society and history and
Right.
stuff like that. Whereas these games, even if you're playing a guy, it seems like the focus is really on the world.
The world
Like,
itself,
on the inner logic of the world. Its categories, its natural categories, right? Its qualities and fucking species.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's crazy that they've managed to like even blend. Like I'm looking at this, looks like you're playing like craziest version of The Sims, like with the stupid walls. You're building walls, like
Yeah, man.
but
Stone walls with windows.
yeah, the world is your fucking oyster. I guess
that's right.
you build your castle, you farm the materials.
Yeah.
There's I guess a fucking cool element, like a charming element to all of them, where you make it your own, right?
That's for
exist
sure,
in the
yeah.
world and you build it, as you see fit, right?
I'd go so far as to say, like, what makes a survival game, like the defining characteristic of the genre. I say this like the form of movement, like what it's depicting is the integration of character and world, right?
Yeah.
That's the focus there. You're a guy fucking making symbiosis with the fucking world around him, right? That's what it depicts. And it is intrinsically satisfying and productive, right? You literally see a good, like an actuation occurring, you know? It's intrinsically satisfying. Like watching a plant grow. You know what I mean?
I got 1 point about survival games, just sour you out on it.
No worries.
Blizzard's making one.
Oh, I heard that too.
You know that.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sure they're gonna fuck it
gonna
up so
play
hard.
it?
No. No, I'm definitely not.
Not even gonna try.
I'm gonna play survival games made by 10 dudes that cost $20 that are way better than any AAA thing that came out in fucking years. That's what I'm gonna play. Take that fucking Game Pass. You know what I mean? Fucking Microsoft. What the hell?
Yeah.
How the hell, bro? Can I ask you something? How the fuck do those guys have so much money and they just can't make something as good as like fucking 10 dudes?
Cost them. Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
Eurojank is the fucking tightest shit in the world.
Those
You know?
10 dudes weren't sitting in on that focus group.
Yeah.
That green lit shit like Sea of Thieves or whatever the fuck else.
What the hell is that? You know?
Yeah.
How do you put all that money into it and that's what you come up with, right? And these guys are like $20 fucking here, made
Yo,
with Unity. Fucking
Valheim is like-
a bunch of kids hitting bees in their basement, probably. You know what I mean? It truly is a staggering thing. The incompetence of fucking professionals. You know?
It really is.
Yeah.
When you put it that way, it's
They're awful. They can't put out a game like this every 4 months, you know, and they have fucking thousands of employees across the world, trillions of dollars.
You know what? I feel like an idiot because when they said shit like that, like we're gonna put out a AAA game every fucking 4 or 6 months or whatever, I laughed and thought like that's impossible. They're not gonna do that, and obviously we're right. They're not gonna do that. But why shouldn't they be able to? For fuck's sakes! Like when you went in with all that money, put a bunch of dicks in a room and fucking pay them for 24 hours until they come out of that room with an idea or something.
It's
I don't
because
know.
ideas are not fucking paid for. They're spontaneously born, right? Like,
I guess.
They're made because they're beautiful. You can't just pay some guy to have an idea,
True,
right?
yeah.
That's why Microsoft still sucks ass, because they just try to pay people to have ideas and they fail, right?
Yeah.
They just can't do it, you know? Doesn't matter how much money you put in front of somebody. It's not like something, okay, I'm going to think even harder. Oh, just pushing the veins on his forehead, pulsing.
I have a great idea, but I need more money.
If I just had another fucking 500 grand, I'd
have an even better idea.
Really think.
Fuck.
When you think about it, it's just as preposterous, you know? It's so stupid. Like, anybody would know that. A 10-year-old could figure that out without somebody telling it to them, you know?
Oh, it's so
Here we
depressing,
are.
but it is what it is. Fuck. It feels like we've come full circle in this episode. Like,
Yeah, we definitely have.
Microsoft and Game Pass and survival games and why Valheim made by 10 people is so popular. And even like No Man's Sky.
Yep.
You know,
Look at
I don't know about V Rising, but it's in early access. I'm sure it's not a massive
I'm sure it's not
fucking
made by
studio
many people.
either.
It's in Unity, yeah. It's,
What about Conan? That was probably the biggest. Of
Conan's
all these
probably
games.
Conan's pretty Eurojank too. I think it's made by a small team. Yeah,
Yeah. Probably a bigger team than
Although they have,
these games.
they're probably closer to AA, but I
yeah.
don't think it's a big studio.
No.
They're fucking small. Yeah. And that game is jank as fuck. It's got weird shit in there, man. Like full frontal nudity, slavery, just like shit. You're just not gonna find it. And like, you know, fucking.
Yeah, why isn't that game in the news that people
I don't know.
complaining about its themes?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not popular enough?
No,
Like,
I don't know. It's the only game now in 2022 where you can just go naked and enslave a bunch of people and nobody cares.
And nobody will bat
Strange
an eye,
enough. Yeah, nobody says anything. So I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know, man. Well, fuck though. V Rising. Maybe we could say a couple more words about that because I know it's fucking just blowing up all over the place, and people are probably right to be excited about it. You know,
I wouldn't have even heard about it if it wasn't for you. So
I just read about it a lot. It came out in early access.
Showed it to me. Yeah,
it's all over the place.
I'm actually excited now to jump back in, and you kind of helped me find my little nook there where I'm going to build my base, and I'm so excited now.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Can build a little thing.
You got our own
reposition buildings here too, not the walls, but the buildings. It's pretty,
yeah,
it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool having that we have our own servers going up. So if anyone's interested to play with us,
you're very welcome to do so.
And there's no bullshit like fucking.
No, it's a PvE server. Yeah, we don't have PvP on. Fuck that. We're about building,
hanging out.
Yeah.
Hanging out with the dirty boys
Not
and
robbing
dirty
each other.
burger.
Virtually griefing one another. It's not-
Yeah.
Can you imagine fucking playing a game on its server with a bunch of just prepubescent
tryhards? We're gonna invade you, man.
Yeah, just dicking you around all the time.
Fuck that.
I'm out on that, yeah. In any case, maybe that's enough for today. What do you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you guys very much for tuning in. It's been a fucking great time, and we hope to see you on one of our many servers. You're welcome to jump in and play with us. And we'll be back to talk more about one of these games, I'm sure, in a couple of days.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you very much and take care, friends.